cover so I can show the stage. And there we go. Oh. I speak about as much as I type, kind. But guten Tag. So, we're going to start off today with a fact. Because if I have to know this fact, you have to know it too. I was very happy not knowing this, but now that it's part of my knowledge, it's going to be part of yours too. So in Fulbeck, England, in the East Midlands of England, Ros Edwards has assembled one of the world's most unique collections, a pile of mannequins so high they form a 20-foot mountain. If you do visit, there's a tip. For £50, you're given 15 minutes to fill the trunk of a car with as many mannequins as you like. For whatever reason, you would want to do that. And you don't need to tell me if you do. So, welcome to the Longhouse. We are celebrating Oktoberfest. I am Merryjest. Some of you may have run into my insanity before, and I realize I am facing the wrong direction. So this is starting off perfectly fine. Yes, we know exactly how that's going to end. So for today, some of you may know me as the opera singing Cheshire Cat. And if you're here for me to go, well, I have to tell you, you're going to be a little bit disappointed. We are, I'm very, very shy. Today is Oktoberfest, which means we're going to sing, drink, and potentially fall in a ditch somewhere, although I do that without having to drink. So today, I want to start us off with a, shut up, kind. We're going to start off with, no, don't shut up. One of the German legends. Her name is Nina Hagen. Some of you might know her, and she is rightfully known around the world as the grandmother of German punk. She is an absolutely crazy woman, amazingly fun music. And so the first, yes, if you click on the sign that is hovering next to my stage, you will get the translation for the songs that I will be singing in German today, so you can follow along. And her song is Du hast den Farbfilm vergessen, which is You have forgotten the color film. Okay, I realize I may need to explain this to some people, and that this makes me feel incredibly old. In the before days, before digital photography came along, you used to have film that you put in a camera and you shot it at people. And you had your original black and white film, and then you had your color film. Color film was, of course, more expensive in the before days, back in the 60s, 50s, etc. And so this song is, the old man. And so this song is, it has two meanings. Nina Hagen, of course, grew up in the Eastern Bloc, and this song was meant as a critique of the drab and gray life that people experienced in East Berlin. But it's also a bit of a funny anecdote where this young lady who took a whole bunch of pictures with her boyfriend Misha realized that all of her pictures of her in her bikini and the beach and the car in the nude, all came out in drab black and white. So we begin with Du hast den Farbfilm vergessen, mein Michael, by Nina Hagen. And let me make sure the preset is fine, and here we go.
Hoch stand der Sandsturm und Strand von Hiddensee. Mischa, mein Mischa, und alles tat so weh, dass sie Kaninchen scheu schauten aus dem Bau. So laut entlud sich mein Lebenshimmelblau. So böse stampfte mein nackter Fuß den Sand und schlug ich von meiner Schulter deine Hand. Mischa, mein Mischa, und alles tat so weh. Tu das noch einmal, Mischa, und ich geh. Du hast den Fahrfilm vergessen, mein Michael. Bloß glaubt uns kein Mensch, wie schön's hier war. Du hast den Fahrfilm vergessen, bei meiner Seele. Alles blau und weiß und grün und später nicht mehr wahr. Du hast den Fahrfilm vergessen, bei meiner Seele. Alles blau und weiß und grün und später nicht mehr wahr. Nun sitz ich wieder bei dir und mir zu Haus und such die Fotos fürs Fotoalbum aus. Ich im Bikini und ich am FKK. Ich frech in Mini, Landschaft ist auch da. Ja, aber wie schrecklich, die Tränen coolen heiß. Landschaft und Nina und alles nur schwarz-weiß. Mischa, mein Mischa, und alles tut so weh. Tu das noch einmal, Mischa, und ich geh. Du hast den Fahrfilm vergessen, mein Michael. Nun glaubt uns kein Mensch, wie schön's wir ha. Du hast den Fahrfilm vergessen, bei meiner Seele. Alles blau und weiß und grün und später nicht mehr wahr. Du hast den Fahrfilm vergessen, bei meiner Seele. Alles blau und weiß und grün und später nicht mehr wahr.
And that was Du hast den Fahrfilm vergessen. Thank you very much, Elizabeth, Malachi, Liberty, Krim, and Audrina. So now we're going to move a little bit back in time. Since this song was in the 60s, 50s actually. This is this is a standard song that was favored both by Axis and Allied troops. This is a German love song that was very, very popular among the troops, called Lili Marlen. It was written in 1915 as a poem. Then it was published and first recorded by Lal Andersen as Das Mädchen unter der Laterne, The Girl Under the Lantern. Two people made this song very, very famous. The first one was, of course, Lale Andersen, the original version, but the more legendary version is the Marlene Dietrich version, which is the one that I will be singing today.
Vor der Kaserne, vorm dem großen Tor, stand eine Laterne und stieg sie noch davor. So wollen wir uns da wiedersehen, bei der Laterne wollen wir stehen, wie einst Lili Marlen, wie einst Lili Marlen. Unsere beiden Schatten sahen wie einer aus, dass wir so lieb uns raten, da sann man gleich daraus. Und alle Leute sollen es sehen, wenn wir bei der Laterne stehen, wie einst Lili Marlen, wie einst Lili Marlen. Schon rief der Posten, sie blasen sanften Streich, das kann 3 Tage kosten, Kameradisch, komm sogleich. Da sagten wir auf Wiedersehen, wie gerne wollt ich mit dir gehen. mit dir, Lili Marleen, mit dir, Lili Marleen. Vor der Kaserne, vor dem großen Tor, stand eine Lanterne und steht sie noch davor. So wollen wir uns da wiedersehen, bei der Laterne wollen wir stehen, wie einst Lili Marleen, wie einst Lili Marleen. Wie einst Lili Marleen, wie einst Lili Marleen.
And that was, oh, the espresso and bacon, yes. You know, you always have to admire Dinky in lederhosen. So that was Lili Marleen. Now I would like to, I don't know how many of you have seen the You're a Good Man, Charlie Brown musical, but I would like to sing next this piece celebrating one of the greatest German composers ever, Ludwig van Beethoven, and without further ado, I will just simply jump into it. Some of you may know this piece. Don't spoil it for the others. Do you know something, Schroeder? I think the way you play the piano is nice. Do you know something else? It's always been my dream that I'd marry a man who plays the piano. At parties he'd play something nice like April showers. I'm sure you could play something nice like April showers. Or even Frere Schacke. Beethoven's nice too. Just imagine, what would you think if someday you and I should get married? Wouldn't you like that if someday we two should get married? My Aunt Marion was right. Never tries to discuss marriage with a musician. Now, I don't know if you've ever heard the You're a Good Man, Charlie Brown original cast album, but the girl who sang Lucy, which is this song, it was Lucy singing to Schroeder, was, well, he completely ignored her. She has the perfect voice for Lucy. It is nails on chalkboard mixed with foghorn. It is absolutely beautiful, the magnificence of which I can't even come close to replicating. But now that we're still talking German, right? Well, I would like to talk about one of the names in German history that has sadly been forgotten. And Your Highness, this song is for you, as I know you know it well. Thank you, Rodolfo. This is a song celebrating a great German inventor who, through unfortunate circumstances, has lapsed into obscurity. And I believe it is my duty to tell you about this extraordinary man. And so, without further ado, I will recount his story for you.
Otto Titzling, inventor and kraut, had nothing to get very worked up about. His inventions were failures, his future seemed bleak. He fled to the opera at least twice a week. One night at the opera he saw an Ida, whose bust was so big it would often impede her. Dog-eyed he watched her fall into the pit, done in by the weight of those terrible tits. Oh my God, there she blows. Aerodynamically, this girl was a mess. Otto eyeballed the diva lying comatose among the reeds, and he suddenly felt the fire of inspiration flood his soul. He ran back to his workshop where he fussed and fussed and fought. For Otto Titzling had found his quest to lift and mold the female breast, to point the small ones to the sky, to keep the big ones high and dry. Every night he'd sweat and snort, searching for the right support. He'd try some string and paper clips. Hey, he even tried his own tulips. Well, he stitched and he slaved and he slaved and he stitched until finally one night, in the wee hours of the morning, Otto arose from his workbench triumphant. Yes, he had invented the world's first over-the-shoulder boulder holder. Exhausted but ecstatic, Otto ran out to the diva bearing the prototype in his hot little hand. Now, the diva did not want to try the darn thing on, but after many initial mishaps, she finally did. And the sigh of relief that issued forth from her mouth was so loud it was mistaken by some to be the early onset of the Sorocan winds, which would often roll through the Schwarzlands with a vengeance. But little did Otto know, at the moment of his greatest triumph, lurking under the diva's bed was none other than the very worst of the French patent thieves, Philippe de Brazier. And Phil was watching the scene with a great deal of interest. Later that night, while our Broomhilda slept, into the wardrobe Philippe slowly crept. He fumbled through nickels and corsets galore, till he found Otto's Titzling, and he ran out the door, crying, "Oh my God! What joy, what bliss! I'm gonna make me 1,000,000 from this. Every woman in the world will want to buy one. I can have all the goods manufactured in Taiwan." The result of this swindle is pointedly clear. Do you buy a Titzling, or do you buy a Brazil? I knew that was coming. Most of you knew it was coming. And still. Okay, I have to tell you, I have serious issues about this movie, Beaches, because in the movie it is kind of implied that Bette Midler singing Otto Titzling is somehow beneath her station, but that singing "The Wind Beneath My Wings" is the highest of artistic achievements she could achieve. And I'm sorry, if you've ever listened to "Do You Ever Know That You're My Hero?" It is a 2-minute song that feels like a 15-minute opera. And not in the best possible way. So I seriously disagree with that movie. We need more Otto Titzlings in the world and fewer "The Wind Beneath My Wings." That's all I have to say about that. So
now we're gonna go back to German instability. Because yeah, see, Arduino agrees with me. You all agree with me. That's why we're friends. Thank you, AJ. Now we're gonna go back to German psychos, and this is a song from one of my favorite operas, the Three Penny Opera, by Mr. Kurt Weill. And Kurt Weill is a wonderful composer. He started off in Germany, ran away to Paris and the United States eventually, running away from Nazi occupation. And he sort of became one of the composers who bridged musical theater, cabaret, and opera in a glorious melange. And in the Three Penny Opera, there is this, you hear about Mac Heath or Mac the Knife. And of course, you've heard the Bobby Darin, swing version. Oh, the shark has pretty teeth, dear, and he shows them pearly white. Well, this is not that version. This is the original version of Mac the Knife, or Mac Messer, as Messer is the German word for knife. And it's about a serial killer and a psycho. And it is incredibly unsettling and beautifully done harmonically. So now I would like to sing for you the original version of Mac the Knife in the original German. Music by Kurt Weill and words by Bertolt Brecht.
Und der Hafisch, der hat Zähne, und die trägt er im Gesicht. Und Marquis, der hat ein Messer, doch das Messer sieht man nicht am nen schönen. Liegt ein toter Mann am Strand und ein Mensch geht um die Ecke, den man Marquis-Messer nennt. Und Schmulmeier bleibt verschwunden und so mancher reiche Mann und sein Geld hat Marquis-Messer, den man nicht verweisen kann. Jenny Tauler ward gefunden mit nem Messer in der Brust. Und Kai geht Marquis-Messer, der von allem nichts gewusst. Und die minderjährige Witwe, deren Namen jeder weiß, wachte auf und war geschwendet. Marquis, welches war dein Preis? Und die einen sind im Dunkeln und die anderen sind im Licht. Doch man sieht nur die im Lichte, die im Dunkeln sieht man nicht. Doch man sieht nur die im Lichte, die im Dunkeln sieht man nicht.
Oh yes, I thank you, Liberty Cat. Thank you, Mariska Kine. It is let's see. Oh, Mary, thank you for coming though, and have a great Oktoberfest yourself. But I have, and thank you, Crow. So now this ends the German part of today's program. I have a lot of things to sing for you, and some of them are now in English, or whatever passes through my lips that might potentially be English. Thank you, Your Highness. Oh yeah, you cannot go wrong with Kurt Weill in any incarnation whatsoever. So now we're gonna go. We just spoke about a German psychopath, you know, Mackie Messer. Now we're going to go for an American one, and Kat may like this song. Mariska, I apologize. You'll know what it is.
Spring is here, spring is here. Life is skittles and life is beer. I think the loveliest time of the year is the spring. I do, don't you? Of course you do. But there's one thing that makes spring complete for me, and makes every Sunday a treat for me. Oh, the world's in some tune on a sweet afternoon when we're poisoning pigeons in the park. Every Sunday you'll see my sweetheart and me as we poison the pigeons in the park. When they see us coming, the birdies all try and hide, but they still go for peanuts when coated with cyanide. The sun's shining bright, everything seems so right when we're poisoning pigeons in the park. We've gained notoriety and caused much anxiety at the Audubon Society with our games. They call it impiety and lack of propriety and quite a variety of unpleasant names, but it's not against any religion to want to dispose of a pigeon. So if Sunday you're free, why don't you come with me and we'll poison the pigeons in the park? And maybe we'll do in a squirrel or two while we poisoning pigeons in the park. We'll murder them all amid laughter and merriment, except for the few we take home to experiment. My pulse will be quickening with each drop of strychnine we feed to a pigeon. It just takes a smidgen to poison a pigeon in the park.
Yeah, sorry about that. Now, since we are in a Tom Lehrer sort of state of mind, I think we should just keep going and see where this takes us. What do you think? I do happen to have the perfect follow-up for that. You really can't sing Tom Lehrer. You can't sing Poisoning Pigeons in the Park and then not do this song. So let's just go for it.
I ache for the touch of your lips, dear, but much more for the touch of your whips, dear. You can race welts like nobody else as we dance to the masochism tango. Let our love be a flame, not an ember. Say it's me that you want to dismember. Blacken my eye, set fire to my tie as we dance to the masochism tango. At your command, before you here I stand. My heart is in my hand. Ew, it's here that I must be. My heart entreats, just hear those savage beats, and go put on your cleats and come and trample me. Your heart is as hard as stone of mahogany, That's why I'm in such exquisite agony. My soul is on fire, it's aflame with desire, which is why I perspire when we tango. You caught my nose in your left castanet, love. I can feel the pain yet, love, every time I hear drums, and I envy the rose that you held in your teeth, love, with the thorns underneath, love, sticking into your gums. Your eyes cast a spell that bewitches. The last time I needed 20 stitches to sew up the gash that you made with your lash as we danced to the masochism tango. Bash in my brain and make me scream with pain, then kick me once again and say we'll never part. I know too well I'm underneath your spell, so darling, if you smell something burning, it's my heart. Excuse me. Take your cigarette from its holder and burn your initials in my shoulder. Fracture my spine and swear that you're mine as we dance to the masochism tango.
Oh dear. I think we broke Kenya. Does anyone? Is there an avatar doctor in the house? So I'm sorry, Kenya. If you broke at that, I'm afraid that the next piece you're not going to survive the next piece. I have a story about this piece that I want to share with you. As Malachi knows, I went to a hippie college for my undergrad. Warren Wilson, up in the Shenandoah Valley in North Carolina. Wonderful place. My first experience of coming to Warren Wilson College was this. My parents, from Ecuador, Latin America, Catholic, they were driving me up to, gorgeous campus. And really, really nice people too. The only complaint I ever had about Warren Wilson College is that they did not have an opera major. So I had to become an independent integrated studies major, and I created my own opera degree. And the reason I went to Warren Wilson College is because they were one of the few private colleges that offered scholarships to international students. Otherwise, I wouldn't have been able to afford to go. But it was still a beautiful campus. But as my parents were driving up to drop me off, we had to stop because the campus, if you've ever driven through the Warren Wilson College campus, there's a little highway that interrupts both sides of the campus. One side that has the larger part of the academic buildings and some of the smaller dorms. And on the other side, you have the majority of the dorms and the chapel. Well, we were driving through and we had to stop. Nice. And we had to stop for a student crossing because they had a little light. Well, who were the students crossing? I would say about 6 to 10 naked people, painted from head to toe in green, body glitter, and wearing fairy wings. My parents stared and I went, I have found my people. But in any case, this was the early 2000s, and they had drag shows. They had a very, very, that sounds about right. They had a very, very active Gay-Straight Alliance. I was the president of the Gay-Straight Alliance for a year until I realized I was also part of the Asheville Choral Society, the Asheville Lyric Opera Chorus, and the Asheville Gay Men's Chorus, and I realized I didn't have a life, so I had to drop something so I could have a life. And so I did participate one year in the drag show, and I participated with the song I'm about to sing. I got a whole bunch of our basketball players, big, strong dudes, big, strong, straight dudes in drag to be my kicking chorus. Because you see, I needed a kickline chorus. I needed a kickline chorus of nuns. And I dressed as the Mother Superior. And we performed this song. And we got an honorable mention. I did not win the Duchess of Drag award for this performance because it was not lip synced. You know, it's hi Mel, bye Mel. I see she just lagged herself off into the corner. Hi Mel. So I didn't. Everybody, please welcome Mel Cheeky, one of the original live performers in Second Life. She is a fantastic singer, songwriter, and someone I am always glad to call a dear friend. And you subscribe to her group and go to her concerts because her stuff is amazing. But, so, long story short, too late. I performed this with some of the sports guys dressed as nuns, kicking and dancing, and me singing. And the reason I did not win the Duchess of Drag concert with this, Duchess of Drag title with this, is because, you see, I was not terribly familiar at the, I was a little immigrant boy from Ecuador. Not a lot of drag going on there back then. I did not understand that one of the most important parts of the drag performance is that it is to be lip-synced, not sung, and that's what disqualified me. So, without further ado, the story I have just told will come into focus as you hear this song.
There are Jews in the world, there are Buddhists, there are Hindus and Mormons, and then there are those that follow Muhammad, but I've never been one of them. I'm a Roman Catholic and have been since before I was born. And the one they say about our Catholics is, soon as you're warm, you don't have to be a good looker. You don't have to have a great brain. You don't have to have any clothes on. You're a Catholic the moment God came. Because every sperm is sacred. Every sperm is great. If a sperm is wasted, God gets quite irate. Every sperm is sacred. Every sperm is great. If a sperm is wasted, God gets quite irate. Let the heathen spill theirs on the dusty ground. God shall make them pay for each sperm that can't be found. Every sperm is wanted, every sperm is good, every sperm is needed in your neighborhood. In the Taoist Mormon spill there's just anywhere, but God loves those who treat their semen with more care. Every sperm is sacred, every sperm is great. If a sperm is wasted, God gets quite irate. Every sperm is sacred, every sperm is good. Every sperm is needed in your neighborhood. Every sperm is useful, every sperm is fine. God needs everybody's mine and mine.
And urchin dance number.
Let the pagans feel there's o'er mountain, hill, and plain. God shall strike them down for each each sperm that's spilt in vain. Every sperm is sacred, every sperm is good. Every sperm is needed in your neighborhood. Every sperm is sacred, every sperm is great. If a sperm is wasted, your next wife irate.
Yeah, and oh, I forgot to tell you. So for this, I also had my best friend at the time, Megumi Takahashi, a young Japanese girl who was just fresh off Tokyo herself. I got her into this, and we got her a first communion dress because she was very, very short, and she fit in one, and she was the one who sang "Let the pagans spill theirs on the dawn," and she managed to do it with an absolute face of complete innocence, and everybody almost just lost it at that point. I would have worn a nun's outfit for this one, except that I was afraid of breaking, as I almost broke during Fandom Con. I had like 8 costume changes for Fandom Con, and one of them almost didn't happen because Second Life is Second Life. But now that we just celebrated Monty Python, I want to celebrate another British humorist, composer. Well, he's British/Australian, which means he's twice the crazy in the best possible way. His name is Tim Minchin, and he wrote a song called "The Fence," which is about it's a very broad strokes song, but it sort of highlights the notion that too many people are too fast to jump to simplify issues and jump to certainty where there's a wealth of information available, and that if you think with nuance, the more you know, the harder you find to make up your mind because of all of the delicate and multifaceted aspects of a potential situation. So he wrote this song called "The Fence," which is kind of a broad stroke celebration of that approach. And I would like to sing it for you.
Somewhere in your wardrobe I'd be willing to bet there's a t-shirt proudly bearing the silhouette
Of Che Guevara.
He was revolutionary, yeah, he wore a cool hat. But behind the design, I think you might find it's not quite as simple as that. Che was a bit of a homophobe. Che was a bit of a homophobe.
I mean, yeah.
Che was a bit of a homophobe. Che was a bit of a homophobe. This is my song in defense of the fence. A little sing-along, an anthem to ambivalence. The more you know, the harder you will find it to make up your mind. It doesn't really matter if you find you can't see which grass is greener. Chances are it's neither, and either way it's easier to see the difference when you're sitting on the fence. 'Cause somewhere in your house I'd be willing to bet there's a picture of that grinning hippie from Tibet, the Dalai Lama. He's a lovely, funny fella, he gives sound bites galore. But let's not forget that back in Tibet, those funky monks used to dig the poor, yeah. And the Buddhist line about future lives is a perfect way to stop the powerless rising up.
I mean, potentially, yeah.
He tells the poor they will live again, but he's rich now, so it's easy for him to say, I'm taking the stand in defense of the fence. I've got a little band playing anthems to ambivalence. We divide the world into terrorists and heroes, into normal folk and weirdos, into good people and pedos, into things that give you cancer, and the things that cure cancer, and the things that don't cause cancer, but there's a chance they will cause cancer. In the future we divide the world to stop us feeling frightened, into wrong and into right, and into black and into white, and into real men and fairies, into status quo and scary. Yeah, we want the world binary, binary, but it's not that simple. And your dog has a bigger carbon footprint than a four-wheel drive. Yeah, your dog has a bigger carbon footprint than a four-wheel drive. And your dog has a bigger carbon footprint than a four-wheel drive. And so does your baby. Maybe you ought to trade him in for a Prius? Huh? I'm taking the stand in defense of the fence. Got a little band playing tributes to ambivalence. We divide the world into liberals and gun freaks, into atheists and fundies, into detollers and junkies, into chemical and natural, into fictional and factual, into science and supernatural. But it's actually naturally not that white or black. You'll be dividing us into terrorists and heroes, into normal folk and weirdos, into good people and pedos, into things that give you cancer, and the things that cure cancer, and the things that does cause cancer, but there's a chance you'll cause cancer in the future. We divide the world to stop us feeling frightened, into wrong and into right, and into black and into white, and into real men and fairies, into parrots and canaries. Yeah, we want the world binary, binary. 01101. You know, the harder you will find it to make up your mind. It doesn't really matter if you find you can't see which grass is greener. Chances are it's neither, and either way it's easier to see the difference, 'cause it's not that simple. And that was Tim Minchin's The Fence. And so now I want to, first of all, acknowledge Krim and Carrie here yesterday. They had their official exchange of their vows, and it was a very, very touching and wonderful ceremony. And this reminds me of what happened there, because, you see, I look at the number of people that were assembled yesterday for... Yes, Stefan, it is, isn't it? So I was glancing at all of these people who were beautifully dressed for the occasion, and I happened to catch my old friend, Old Soul, right across the field from me, and he's buck naked. That was my husband, you just heard snorting. And, you know, this happens to me a lot in Second Life. He was wearing clothes. I just couldn't see them. And that particular event happening, well, similar events of this sort happening, led me to write this following parody. Then I know every single one of you here will identify. Some folks see them right away. There are people here that are in the nude. Did I jump to a nudist beach or to Loskwood? Well, I must reboot my system. Naked people all around. I'm in a no-clothes second life. I've seen all my friends at bars, in their fancy bling, they're the dancing queen. But how can I tell them what else I have seen? I sure wasn't needin' to see my besties, peach and lime. I'm in a no-clothes second life.
Oh, Mel, Lostwood is still around.
It was so easy before mesh was made. All our clothes were just textures and hues. But when I see Vivian, Bill and Jake, now all the time they show up nude. It comes down to fidelity, and my GPU simply can't abide. Don't care if the latest gen, 'cause it always runs like the hamster died. I've run out of upgrades, my pockets aren't money lined. I'm in a no-clothes second life. This is just a fact of life in this virtual life when things can go wrong. Thank God, or there'd be no reason to write this song. We really should be grateful that you don't roof out all the time. Can you imagine? Here in this no-clothes second life. It was so easy before mesh was made. All our clothes were just textures and hues. But when I see Vivian, Bill and Jake, now all the time I see naked dudes. I don't wanna see my friends in their birthday suits when they come around. I don't get a kick from that, and besides, you know, it is awfully rude. I better change my settings. Naked people all around. Here in this no clothes. I need brain bleach. Here in this no clothes. No clothes. Second life. Hey, I knew you weren't a natural redhead.
uh, Kenya, all of my streams are recorded. They will be going online, video. And if you want an audio, I'll just cut one out for you. And yeah, we've attached your shoes to your ass so you can find them easily. Who remembers that? Or, roosting all the time. But I have a very important announcement here, people. This is a trap. This is not actually an Oktoberfest celebration. We're 2 songs away from finishing. And the next song is a very important one. See, because cunningly, this has actually been a... this has been a bit of a celebration. Yes, you see, last month, a good friend of mine had his rezday. But due to real-life complications, I was not able to attend. Now, this friend gave me a very, very nice thing for my rezday, which was a jar of leche merengada with Cheshire theme. And Kat, if you thought I was going to let that pass, and me missing your rezday without actually doing something about it, you don't know me very well. So, this next song is dedicated to everybody's favorite thieving wolf and the secret point of this celebration. And I need to step back for this one because I'm going to scat. And no, not in that way, Kat. Get your mind out of the gutter. I'm here to talk about a dangerous individual. Let me tell you about him. And that's what I'm talking about. Everybody lays the blame on Cat, 'cause he's caught in the act and he knows where it's at. Everybody's wise unto his lupine feats, and soon he'll dash out on his feet. He steals all the corn, he'll be gone by the morn, and you'll rue the day. When the haggy attack, you'll be taken aback by his canine ways. I've seen him sneak inside to get to all your things, 'cause Cat's got all of your bling. Who will look at suspect lineup just like that when everybody puts the blame on Cat? He steals all the corn, he'll be gone by the morn, and you'll rue the day. When the haggy attack, you'll be taken aback by his canine ways. Everybody puts the blame on Cat, 'cause he's caught in the act and he knows where it's at. Remember, friends, to always hide the welcome mat, 'cause everybody fears the thieving cat. And there he goes. Give it to me.
Another song. Ba 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 ba. Ba 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 ba. And so, if you want to egg him on, show your gold, don't spare a dime, and watch him rushing through the dunes. He'll take your only castle key, expostulate, and you will see he'll rush off, howling to the moon. Rosehavenites will all commence, congregating on the fence beneath the shining full moonlight, and see that cat is out of sight. Hit it. Everybody puts the blame on cat. 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 'Cause everybody puts the blame on cat.
And there you go. Thank you, Mel. Thank you, Liberty. That was for Cat. And with that, our celebration comes to an end with but one more song. And Mel, yes, Luskwood is still around. Frog and J-Cat perform there still at times. You should go and hit Michi Lumin up because he's still around. And get him, sing there. You sang there before. You need to sing there again. That's an order. And so now I must perform my final piece of this Oktoberfest. And it's a bit of a requisite. Someday I will write another parody that's as popular as this one. But that day is not today. And so I must... Oh, give me 1 second. My computer is freaking out. Ha ha ha. And no, it's not because I'm double logging, because I've got my laptop with my main account and my video taking account on the desktop. It's just that I guess this laptop is deciding it's enough. Just in time. So, who's that screaming outside? Don't they know I'm singing? I guess there's someone fighting outside. Never you mind that. We'll finish today with a bit of wisdom and advice. Oh, yes, and also, Liberty Marquez is in the audience today. My good friend Liberty, she was my absolutely amazing stage crew for Second Life 20 anniversary. And I am always so glad to see her. I'm always glad to see all of you here. So now, let us exit with my usual bit of advice about how to deal with things here in Second Life.
Some things online are bad, they can really make you mad. Other sites just make you swear and curse. Hello, site formerly known as Twitter. When you want to dodge that missile, don't scramble, give a whistle. And the moles will help you set up for the rest. And always look on the second side of life. Always look on the second side of life. Your FBS is rotten, there's something you've forgotten, and that's to check your HUDs and drop your prims. Are you arguing with the grumps? Don't be silly chumps, just take a walk around your favorite sim, and always look on the second side of life. Always look on the second side of life. You forgot to pay your tier, and so now you have to fear that you'll have to hunt around for all your things. Do whole regions go offline when you open up to find one small thing among your 500,000 blings? What's going on?
She's opened her inventory!
So always check on your inventory depth. All that junk along its length and breadth. The lot can be absurd, so go take me at my word. We must dance and shine and sparkle in the now. Forget about the prim, wear your bento with a grin, 'cause it all will get outdated anyhow. And always look on the second side of life. Always look on the second side of life. Dance number now, yeah?
Oh, don't you just love a dance number?
They're awfully well coordinated.
It is rather good for wearing heels. I like the one wearing the tail.
For we all have worn a house, some are married to a mouse, and some find that they have logged on in the buff. In the middle of a church, in the preacher in a lurch, crying, "Heavens, wear some clothes, we've seen enough."
Oh dear.
Always look on the second side of life. Let me hear those heels. Always look on the second side of life. Nice. Always look on the second side of life. Always look on the second side of life. Be you tiny, giant, mid, or a furry with an id, you will find that there's a niche made just for you. Oh, we ask a simple perk, that you just don't be a jerk, or the Lindenbammer hammer comes for you. It really is a simple ask. I mean, it shouldn't be. Oh, just be decent, for crying out loud. Come on, boys, let's take this home. How can you see?
Ash those heels!
And always look on the second side of life. Always look on the second side of life. Second life. Second life. Boom.
And with that, we can say happy Oktoberfest, everyone. Happy rezday, Kat. And now feel free to walk around, enjoy, talk to people. I'll be around for a little bit. I haven't had any beer. Oh, if anyone wonders why there's a dancing bear on the roof, I guess I should explain before closing. So I sent out a notice to the Rosehaven community to come over for, well, I intended to say come over for beer, sausage, and a ham on stage. But unfortunately, I misspelled beer to bear. So people were expecting bear. So I found a bear, a dancing bear, and I put him on top of the roof. So now you have a dancing bear. So I didn't overpromise. No one can complain that I did not give them bear. Thank you everyone for coming in. I'm gonna go ahead and shut the stream down. I'll wait 10 seconds so it doesn't, there's a 10-second delay or something. And then I'll just come down and hang out with you guys.